Council, if you're ready with the witness, we may please proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning to the commissioners. We're ready to proceed. We're still on the same theme of the Presidential Alternative HIV/AIDS program, and Ms. Sagar Jahate will be leading the witness for today. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, commissioners and members of the audience. We are ready to proceed with the next witness. Mr. Usher, kindly get the witness, please. And whilst we wait for the witness, we have a copy of the protected information sheet, the PIS, in front of you with all the relevant confidential data. Thank you.
I do swear that I'll speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Good morning, Madam Witness.
Council ko isama sedo.
We just want to thank you for coming before the TRRC this morning to give your testimony.
Ako ilafta yi lumbara purunyin kamala ison takana sede arola TRRC nyatilungla binyin somanda.
Oh, no problem.
As you know, my name is Sagar. We have already been introduced, and I will be guiding you through your testimony this morning.
Realo nyamen atetomu Sagar leti alubentale aliyenyo jele aliyenyo faham bitung atelebe tambile nyato bi ila sede aroto nyin somanda.
Okay. Bismillah.
I just want to put your mind at ease this morning as you testify. Just make sure you're comfortable and feel free.
Akalafta ye hakilo tenkundi ila sede yaro kono ye fan soto ikana fan deundi kana hakilo lo kukan ye la sede yaro ke anin kulu ye samba hakilo la.
Just assume that this is a conversation that we're having between myself and you.
Mutadam manko aitena atelebe kachakan.
Oh, Shonda.
We have taken all relevant steps to make sure that your identity is protected.
Yesilo lubeta le purka jako iteme menti itemu jumaleti mokana wolong.
No problem.
There is a piece of paper before you, and that is where all your biographical information has been stated.
Kaito belari nyatilungola. Itemu menti ito ni kontong ibodula ani la ifang la fansung kibaro wala be safari ngo kaito bala.
I hear you.
You have chosen to speak in the Mandinka language, so I would urge you to wait for that interpretation.
Akowairi yenyina mutakoi bediamu la Mandinka kangol to bitu sikari lamoy do mandin kanna sorola.
Make sure your statements are brief so that the interpreters are able to follow you.
Ila kuma kangulu kane jamfandi ise suti yandi nyin kamala akanna soro sidi asisono ya akanna sorola alfanalu bulu.
I hear you.
The most important thing to bear in mind whilst you testify is your duty to tell the truth before the commission, because that is what we are after.
Men kuma ya ta jang wala mi be men kala I wakili dron ye tiling ye tonya dam manfo katu nyin commission be sirin wala kama e be tonya le no masata kan.
I'll speak the truth.
As you testify today, the main focus of your testimony will be on your initial diagnosis as an HIV patient.
Ila sede aro nyin kono ko kumu menti wala be wala be nyi tan la ite ila along ko nyin HIV jankar kesolu bela wo asotota nyamen anin ala ko lanya amunta sede aro kumu betar la lari wala kan.
Any treatment that you may have received,
anin inata jararo fasongolu menu soto.
Your subsequent participation in the Presidential Alternative Treatment Program,
aning inata dung nying president la nying jaral programo nying kono.
What you witnessed there,
yemen sede aje
the treatment that you received,
inte fawnata jaral fasongo men soto je,
and how that treatment was conducted and arranged.
Andung wajararo fanang ya tamandi nyaming aning alata nyaming.
And what impact the treatment had on you and others that you were there with.
Wajararo fanang akulu natala nyaming ay mune sababu ite maila hadamayato aning ite ni mennu fanalu benyo kanje jararo kanu utumo.
At the end of your testimony, the commissioners will ask you some questions and you will be given an opportunity to say any final remarks you may have.
Ning ela CDRO banta commissioner lumen be sirin jan nimme ye nyinin kar soto ibe o mari wolu be nyinin kalale bitu no be botala ibina silo dila ite fananale ite fanan lefta kuma kangolu mennu fola ila kuma ba kum fala kuma kangolu mennu la e fanan sina ofo.
Are you comfortable? Would you like to start now?
Ko so ibe dame ko ibe ye fan soto le be parela le pour ka di amoda amota sayin.
Ngala moy.
Yes.
Just kindly confirm for us again whether your biographical information is on the PIS sheet that is before you.
Follow wo kayto membe laari nyaatili wala je ite fongola fansum kungo kibaro le bije alafta ya tonya yandi fo membe wo kayto bala wole mtonyati bang.
Wole mtonyati.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us when you were initially diagnosed with HIV?
Afonyen wati jumale mu follow ya itandi tela ko HIV jank kesol le be jato kono.
Since I was diagnosed and now it's between 13 and 14 years.
Can you kindly confirm whether the place of your diagnosis is on the PIS sheet?
Akoy kaito nyinjibe ya itandi tela damen ya foye damen ko nyin jankar keso be yelo kono fo wala soton tabang kaito nyimbala fa bijele.
Yes, it's there.
Can you tell us the circumstances under which you were diagnosed?
Afonyen sai munaketa hanufo ite inata nyin kibaro fo en ka foko nyin jankar keso be yelo kono le asoton tanya dile.
I had gone to the hospital because I was sick. They tested my blood and they told me that I had a virus.
Please go ahead and tell us.
After they told me,
I
was given this information. I was unable to get up, so I sat down there for a long time. And then the guy who gave me the information came back and asked me, "What's the matter?" I said, "Behold, I too will die, and I will leave my child who is still very young. And I do not know how I contracted this virus."
Can you tell us what virus you're referring to?
HIV 1 and 2.
HIV 1 and 2.
And why did you think that you were going to die and leave your children behind?
Akomana na yenyi miro soto tembo ko ebe fala le yedi mutu koma membe do yari ngutumu.
Fimo jibele ko menu yaron ko ya soto nyame ika ko ibuka chima mem time da tendi amari buka tendi yeso fa.
I used to watch films and I got the information that those who contracted this never lived beyond 10 years.
And apart from that, do you know whether there was a cure to it or not?
Abitu fulan kola fo ina tanyilo na ko boro be kere ne menka nyin jankaro jarabang.
At the time, I wasn't aware.
And apart from being sick, were you also under any particular condition during that time, physically?
Wo tembo wo sasa kola meye samba lopitano to fo kudo fanam bela le bang wo tembo ila jato kono ila jata kende ya kono. At that time, I was pregnant.
And was it during your routine prenatal visits that you discovered that you had the HIV virus?
Ya long nin kono be mola wati nin wati ikata lopitano to wo jube rolla bitum wo jube rolle ye samba lopitano to bang pour wotu mole nyin kibaro nata finti fo mune ye samba lopitano to no.
I went for
the prenatal.
Was it when you went for the prenatal that the test was done to determine whether you were HIV positive or not?
Amunta itata o nos kuol la je utumo ko harje malu kata nos wati ni wati utumo lo inata yelo jibe tata nyin jankar kesolo jije.
Yes.
Did you receive any treatment after you were diagnosed?
Inata fen ko jankar kesolo nyimbe yelo kono inata jara ro folo yenne wonoto bang.
There was no cure. I went until I gave birth, until my child was 1 month old. Then the child died.
Can you tell us why your child died?
So dindingu na saya yalo mna yala saya sabu.
I believe it was the virus which was the cause.
Did you receive any medication after you were diagnosed and that you were taking throughout your pregnancy?
Biri ya foye ko nyin jankar keso be yelo kono fodum inata adamu tele kaboro lu dila nyin jankar keso fana na ko kam mabang.
Yes, at the time when I go for the prenatal, I used to be given Septrin.
Do you know what the Septrin was meant to do in your system?
Akafoyalon Septrin wo mum akamum kule tamandi ijato kono utumo foyalon ne bang.
So Septrin ni ami aka kurang le ate dinjo nyim batandina dal ni kono bel.
That if you drank the Septrin, it will ensure that the virus does not affect the unborn baby.
But what you are saying that your baby subsequently died, so that was not the case?
Between silang wairi ya foko dena no nyinna tabanne amunta between wo kumo amanke kuti me ya lonko anata sababu.
Ntenga wala mira de nko sasa wale na dingo ya tina fodin nyo tamo tumole ngalon dal kurang yo asikeno abem balor.
That is what I believe, that it was the virus which led to the death of my baby.
And can you tell us what your state of health was after you had given birth and you continued with your treatment during that time?
Fanyeng ibala jato ila jata kende abe tembe jumale to nung utumo biri jidita foka pare utumo fanandung ibe boritala ila jata kende abe tembe jumale to nung utumo.
Mo femam telimental biri mbe jidita mbe septri minka utumo mam problem so na balot.
After I gave birth and I was drinking the Septrin, I felt no pain in my body.
Were you living a relatively healthy life then?
Munta otembo ila jata kende abe saharine fem me sotong mensike sasa kuti.
Yes.
And after that time, did you come to know of any information that was of interest to you?
Bobe kola foina ta kibar soton ne me ya lonko asike kibarti ite sola tamenna me ye nyabo.
Yes, that day we were seated in a room watching television.
Can you tell us when this was?
Afanye wo mu wati jumaleti nung.
That was the year that my baby died.
Do you remember the year?
We hakilo sasa ngumutano lebang.
14 years.
It's 14 years now.
Please proceed.
Akwetendeng.
So
I watched and saw some people with Yaya Jammeh on television. That Yaya Jammeh can cure this disease within 2 weeks.
Which disease are you referring to?
Sasa jumale moti kaka menjara no lokum fulakono.
HIV.
14 years ago, according to our calculation, must have been around 2006 or so. Can you confirm that if you know?
Sanjitani nani komando niya konti tella konti roto amunta obekanya na 2006 sangole fo abe onyale bang.
Yes, that's the way it is.
So after you heard this announcement from the ex-president Yaya Jammeh that he could cure AIDS, what else was said and what else did you see?
Nyinki baro ko la ka foko Yaya Jammeh ko ase nyinkura ngo jarano ina tamune moy ani ina tamune jefanang.
After that, we went to his cure center. And we were also absorbed in.
Madam Witness, before you go there, I just want to take you a little bit back. We have information that Yahya Jammeh started his presidential treatment program around 2007. Do you remember if it was 2006 or 2007 that you saw this video announcement?
Nyin kibaro soto Yahya Jammeh ala jara roda mata 2007 sangole kono yo bitum fo ila mira roto isa atonya yandiro it come foten 2006 lomba for 2007
2007.
Thank you very much. And apart from hearing Yahya Jammeh over the TV saying he could cure AIDS, did you see any other people in that video?
Na men kinyinti Yahya Jammeh moy kafo ate sinyin kurango jara nole fo modolu fanali jele video television nyin kono yenyin kolu jedame.
Yes, I saw people.
And can you tell us whether the names of those people, or perhaps with the assistance of PSS, can you tell us the names of those people? Don't shout, don't say it in the microphone, she'll write it down, thanks.
So makoiro ko kuairi mukullo quality wo molu men yeji je fo ise tolu fono kana fode bari fo ise tolu lonne bang ferobe kala pour wo tolu ye fute tolu ma bari ba fala le ha wala hani fo molu bijele yemenu tolu long
for Rabia Tuba.
Akoy kana fo
Mention the names.
Akoy kana tofo akoy kane tofo amunta ite abe safelale membe dalaje bafla wala ya safe.
The PSS person in front of you will write them down. Just tell the names to her.
Wo muso membe dalaje ibe tolu fala wala ya safe.
Have you been able to give those names?
Amunta yo tolu dino le bang.
Yes.
Can you tell us under what circumstances you saw these people that you've written down on the piece of paper?
Nyin tolu menu safeta teng amunta yewlu yeje no yeje njeri nyalema lume bejela.
Jele ibe fulteda e balo be ni yaari ko kendiatal.
I saw them, they were presented, they looked beautiful, and they were declared as being cured.
And can you tell us who was declaring them as cured?
Afanye jumale ba fo kanko nyimmolu kende yatele ifangol lom fo jumale ba foka.
Dr. Mbo.
Dr. Mbo.
And what were they being cured from?
Amunta saying ibe jaraka ki kende yata mun kuran ne bela num fo kende yata.
HIV kuran.
The HIV virus.
Thank you very much. And that must have been the first batch of the Presidential Alternative Treatment Program in 2007. Is that correct?
Numbara, bari asekeno wolle mo follow luti kafu follow me ya lonko itata nyin jara rola president lo jara silo kono menketa 2007 sango kono fo wolemba.
Wolo.
Yes, that was it.
Can you tell us what you felt after you saw this video with the president announcing that he has a cure to AIDS and other people in that video also being declared as being cured from AIDS?
Saying ite iyo je nyadile yata nyadile briye nyi moluje inim president findita nyin television to iba fokanko itelu ninku musilang ye telijara le hanfo ikende yata sila itenata iyo je nyadile utumo.
Tefan computer la ye bori mi watu ngomba ngata ni tata tumondo abe jara de ngakende.
I also decided to go there to seek this treatment, that perhaps if he treats me, I too would be cured.
Why did you decide to do that, taking into consideration the fact that you've told us earlier that you were told that there was no cure to AIDS?
Munana saying ite wakilta purka na dungo jara rokono kato yenyum fonye komanto nun janko yenyum foyel foloto ko bori tekeri menka nyin jankaro jara.
Ya jamana je abe mo jara kan wo ken diatale Dr. Mbo ñoy funtindi.
It was Yajam I saw who treated people who have been paraded and declared as cured, and Dr. Mbo was also there.
Why did you believe that they could cure AIDS?
Unan ilata la ko nyildung isi nying jankaro jara nole.
Modo ya fo ko te kende ata en jaran kende ata ya en fana e man kende e bita e ba fulante fana e ben jara nga kende.
Well, if you see someone who has undergone a treatment and comes out and tells you that I am cured, and if you are also sick, you'd want to go and acquire the same treatment.
So you were absolutely convinced about this treatment and that there was a cure.
Amunda silang ilata le ko nyin jara ro mu kuleti me yalon ko woto silang aboro sotontale ni tata ifana be kende yale.
That was the idea I had.
And was there anything particular about the ex-president Yahya Jammeh that made you believe him?
Four. Kudo bijele ye menje wo president koto la koto ya Jammeh hanu fo dalilo le ya sabu ila tala kuma kangola.
Because President Mume akote ati AIDS jarano.
Well, a whole president says that he can cure AIDS.
So it was because of his status and position, that's why you believed him?
Amunta ala makamo na la palaso wole landi ala nungotumo.
That is true.
And you said that you had decided to join his program. Can you tell us what process you went through in order to join?
Yeah, betu yanyum fanyanko e utumole e fana nyingani yo soto pour kate dabula jara ro nyinto. Saying anatake nyadile ye mun silaleta hanu fo na te dundi programme nyinkono.
We went there. They took down our names. They admitted us. After they wrote down our names, they gave us a particular date on which we were to report to Kanilai.
Can you tell us when this was, this process of registration? What year did it fall?
Isafo no nye sanjumalo mnyi aliyenyin to safe oke lume yali to safe akata sanjumale.
It's the same year I told you, the same year that we were admitted.
Okay, thank you. That was the 2007.
Amund inumbara amunda wala katanyin 2007 samote yeje sangomen.
After you had seen the first batch graduate from the program.
Bring yewo mo follow lije findita teleto mo follow lumene yalon ko ay jarale.
Yes.
And in relation to that video you saw, we would like to actually play it so that you would be able to identify those people who are in the video. We would just like to reassure you that this video is not going to be played in public. It's a private video for the commissioners to see.
Ni dalilo kanko yo ko menje teletonun a video le bijang saying ibe video play la le pour nya yaje nyin kamala isa tonya yandi ko ha nyimmolle ngani je nun wa lumme ya afintindi me ya kende han fo ifana nyin hammo so pour kata dum jara ro kono.
And with the assistance of PSS again, kindly just tell us whether or not you identify those people who are being named in the video. And then after we'll talk about what was said in the video. Thank you.
Momengi makoy nunje membe dala je wala makoy ro kan bitung hanimbi be molu menu jela wonya ibe kumolu fulawole ye aninga nyanta men safela aye safe go kola alsina tenten ka ko nyin diamu lafta nyinin kala kumolu menula.
I would also like to alert GRTS, QTV, and iAfrica, and all others that are broadcasting not to show this video. This is private. It's only for the viewing of the commissioners. Thank you.
Abelafila kanyin kibaro di GRTS la, QTV, iAfrica, aminyin kibarta la kotangulu menu baby jang, konyi mukuloleti, imanyang nyin video fintin de la dula wodulato, pour kaitanbi pour commissioner lumenu bi jang iba fintindela wo alifal la ko dam male kama.
Madam Witness, were you able to have a look at that video?
Akosedo for ye video nyinjube nole.
Yes, I watched it.
Can you confirm that that is the video that you saw in 2007 of the Presidential Alternative Treatment Program, Batch 1, that convinced you to join the program?
Ako fanyino video ti ye menje nun teleto wosango hanufo inata nyingani yo soto pe puru woto ifanambe wulale yeta nyin jara ro nyini wairi nyil ko iji ko nyil kende yatale fo nyil lembang.
Yes, these were the ones.
And can you also confirm that part of those who participated in this program are those names you listed out in the sheet just now with the PSS?
Ako fo hanimbi yew tolu menu safe wo kayto bala fo hanimbe atewo mo kilingul le fanal mo moldi menu findita nyim video to ten yemen jube sa inteng.
Yes, they are the ones.
Can you confirm that one of the statements that was made by Dr. Mbo in that video was that, according to his definition of undetectable, the virus being undetectable in an HIV patient is that you can no longer see the HIV virus in the blood of the patient?
Amunta Dr. Mbo ye kuma kan memfo nyindiamo kona bota nyindiamo men na teng. Ko ka foko imanje nkar keso nyinje nyimolu jato kono koteke wala ya itandi ko ninku musilang jankaro nyimbanta wulu jato balale fo mu kulet me ya lonko hanimbi ite fonga jeroto wo tembo abe o nyale ba yole jibeten
te waro men nganje kay ngamelo to nyalo worken diatale at woto mon tebando ko.
At the time that I saw this, I thought that they were truly cured because then I was not yet taking part in the program.
So according to what you saw in the video, it gave the impression that these people had been completely cured of HIV.
Munta sila yanyim video je tumo menalo waye hamodundi kono ko tonya nyim moloto ye jarale fo kende ata.
Ni mo ko kende ata kay itela sasa ko kende ata.
Because if someone says that they are cured, no, people will believe you because that is your sickness. And if you declare yourself to be cured, people will have to believe you.
Thank you very much. Let's just then move on to the process of registration. You went.
Sayen ilumbarabake. Bring itebe dunna to safew nyin keta nyamen sayen kana wala maten sayen bina fata to wala.
You went through in 2007.
2007 sankono ya ito safe nyamen purka dun nyin jara ro kono silang mfutata wala.
After that process, you were asked to go and wait.
Bring woto safew keta fo banta otumole na ta fo pureta yebatu.
When were you called eventually to come and join the program?
Birin to safe botale ko ete batu wati jumalo inate kumandi puru yeta jara ro nyin damuta programo nyin.
Dr. Mo mo to safe foka ba ko ko sai momo eta ni lungo tita don 3 days sababe abe momo kola ere number 2.
Dr. Mbo took down our names and our telephone numbers and told us to go home and that he would call us in 3 days' time.
Do you know what Dr. Mbo's particular role was in the presidential treatment program?
Fayalo ne Dr. Mbo ate lodula mun muneti nung president wala o jaral programo nyin kono.
Dr. Mbo ka doko ke atele ka molta.
He used to work with Dr. Mbo. He would register people.
Who used to work with Dr. Mbo?
Jumale ni Dr. Mbo ka doko ken wotumo ela foroto.
Ani ya jame.
With ya jame.
Please go ahead and tell us what happened after.
Bitun tente ya fanye mune natake ukola.
Molta. Bidi molta.
After they admitted us,
they called us
in the night and told us to report to Canifing in the morning.
Who are you referring to as us without mentioning the name of the person, please?
Ako hanni mammo tofode. Ako bari ka fa men ay ko molu ko molete danko.
What was your relationship with that person?
Wo molu mu jumañol lete ni denta munela nu.
Bo faran atafara nata nun jaru la wala atelon ke ba mata je. Atela ka modun to safe.
The person too came for the treatment, but the person was the most elderly and used to take down the names.
I'm talking about the fact that you said that you had been informed about what you were to do by Dr. Mbo and when to come back, but you kept on referring to us. Was it more than one person? Did you go with somebody?
Akabe men fokante wala yalo e kafale ntolu. Yo anu ye Dr. Mbo la kumo nyimfo barbitun sila ni kon ntolu ibe akenyini ka wala la inin jumañol lem.
Don't mention their names. Just confirm whether or not you were with someone.
E kane tofode bari ini misal kama ini mennu tata nyola akenyini ka wala.
Yalong ni ajon kon tol telman yalong kon tel nata de mole to safe ulunga menna wala tinan control.
The reason why I'm saying we is because on the day that the names were taken down, many people came to be registered, which is why I kept referring to us as we.
Thank you very much. Without mentioning anyone's name, can you tell us if you actually went with any particular individual to get registered, somebody who was also of the same status as you?
Ako khani mamoto fode bari bitu lumme woto safewo be kala foyni modo fanan tata nyola le me ya lonko ate fanan nyin jankar ke so balale nyin kamala pour afanan is asita ya to safe fo mo so don tale ni men tata nyola foy kunkilingul tata ibita to safe la to momen.
The PIS will help you to write down the name of the person and your relationship with that particular person so that they are not being identified.
Bitum muso membe dala je abe mako ilale minim am mo sotonta ini men tata nyola mem fanan tata jara rola woma mario membe dala je abe de malale pourka to safe nyin kamala ay hanne ma to fu bar satara ketam moti na ini men tata nyola
ulunga menan tata damani tata ngamol tara je.
The day that we reported, I went alone. I found people there.
Thank you very much.
Ako inumbara.
So you went back home, and when were you subsequently called?
Ako bitum brin to safe botala yalo e seita su konole inate kumandi wati jumale koteke.
Yes, to safe iko tiri samanyaro ina.
They wrote down our names and they said that we were to report in 3 days' time. So the day before, we were called in the night and told to report the following morning.
And what happened when you reported the following morning?
Munenata ke bringo samo itata kata altata kate danku.
We atara telni mo jamal buje ni men bentaloptanor.
We are there with many other people, those that we went to the hospital at the same time. Some were Senegalese, some Guineans, some from Guinea-Bissau. We met with those people there.
In Gambia
and Gambians. All of us boarded the bus.
Can you just tell us the environment of the hospital on that day?
Afanye loptano kona lume altate danko nya osomanda loptano toje jebe nya dile nungolung
Filled with people from all these different regions in Africa.
Kadre nyim molu fo molu nyil menu bota nyim banku jamalu kam mo findula nyim tiliji karola jang je kata nya dile wolung
kai je hatama don siara ka to dolbi de wonnata ma soto van fo dolbi de be kumbo kan ko ha telman jara do soto.
The place was filled up with people. In fact, some came, but they were not lucky to be admitted. And some were even crying that they will not have access to this treatment.
And how many people were they being taken?
Sayang mojelle sotonta ye menuta mene alonko ye itelle samba wulun kata jara rodamuta.
I wouldn't
be able to tell you the figure now, but I can tell you that the bus was full. All the seats were occupied. In fact, some had to stand.
How popular was this program with members of the public?
Ninjara le programu bria kumo kankula. Jama moli yaje nyadi la kita kutobori ngolti bamfo utumo yaje abenyadi la utumo.
Kita ku tobor kat ni ta na ta kan fi loptano je taxi abdu na motobe na la do mo jamal na ta je.
It was popular because at that time if you went to the Kanifing hospital, taxis will be coming in, vehicles will be coming in, so people were coming in frequently. It was popular.
So a lot of people were convinced that indeed Yaya Jammeh had the cure to AIDS.
Amunta woto wenyine itandiko mo jamala ta la nunko tonya Yaya Jammeh nyimboro soto le membe nyin jankaro jarala.
That is it.
So eventually when you went to the Serekunda hospital and you boarded a bus, can you tell us which year this was?
Itun silambiral nata ben loptano to somanda Serekunda loptano to je hanfo lumengal bolata bosola. Nyin keta sanjumale kono.
Bari abenta July, August ma van kato am yatara ya Jammeh beta kam fen kola abeta kan li fora.
It's the same year I told you earlier on, but it coincided with the month of August. In fact, at the time, Yaya Jammeh was going on his annual leave.
And you had said that you were part of the fourth batch, isn't that correct?
Amunda nyim foko etebe kafomen kono wala kata kafuna nin jangoti yemenuta.
Yes.
Are you saying that the first, second, third, and fourth batch were all done in the same year, 2007?
Amunda be nyine fokanko kafufolo fulanjango sabanjango ni nani njango etebe menkono. Amunda atelbe dunta kono sankilingule kono.
So building our what they meant fundita teleto ko ya jamila jarro bilingo tumo.
After I saw those people who have been shown on television to have been killed by Yaya Jammeh, until we left the place, we have not seen anyone that was released.
Perhaps you did not understand the question. What I'm asking is that you had earlier said you were the fourth batch. Is that correct?
Yala akotumando lima fahama kama nyininka. Yalo yenyum folenunko. Ititata kafunani njango nyinde kona menuta.
Yes.
That presupposes that there was a first batch, a second batch, and a third batch.
Amunta wenyine itandiko. Kafufolo bijele nung fulanjango bula tawul noma, sabanjango bula tawul fanan noma ateleketa nani njango.
So if you had gone in 2007, then that means that all the prior batches were done in that particular year.
Amunda wole mnyindi ko natara yemen foko 2007 ita dunta sangole kono woto kafufolo fula ani sabanjaw ni nani njango amunda ulube dunta jararo nyin kono atew sankilingole kono.
You know, we found some people there. Some also found us there.
So the batches were mixed.
Amunta alawo molu menu ketaw nya amunda kafolu nyile ka nyotara jele ka dun nyoto.
Yes.
And you had also told us that initially you were promised that this treatment would only take 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Ndu yenyum fanam fanum ko ye alilahi din nyine la num folo to ko njaro be lokum fula doron netala.
That was what we heard over the television.
And can you tell us how long it took?
Bari silang birate lunta kono alnata wucheje lekije alnata watije lekije.
6 months.
So now tell us how this journey began. You said you were ushered into buses, and where were you going to? What was your final destination?
Silang afonye bitun kulu nata la nyoma nyameng kato yenyum foko yali bulandi boso kono le bri yali bulandi boso kono yali samba bitun kabo allawo tato kali bulandi boso kono kali samba kulu nata bulanyono manyadile.
Ento bulandi boso kono yen samba nata dol fanga wele boso saba wole fengete wole mo samba.
I think it was 3 buses that took people that day.
Where were you going to?
Albita ka yali samba dum mintole.
They took us to Kanilai.
And before you went on that journey to Kanilai, did you receive any kind of information about what to expect and how the treatment would be conducted?
Janni yali samba unya katali samba Kanilai. Fodo ya nyin kibaru fali nako. Jara robe lari nyadi le albe nyini takila wala albe nyine tarla jara ro nyin kokono. Foyo kibaru di alla lebang.
No.
Was there any form of videoing or televising going on whilst you were boarding the buses at that time?
Lumme yali bulandi boso kono albe bula kam boso kono tumo na purkata fodum nyin camera tiolu nata jele purkali ta nyin kamala e kamem fintindi teleto
camera nyi bidanata e momoto kumandi don e dum boso kono camera nyi belore.
The cameraman was standing and they were calling people's names. When they call your name, you will board the vehicle, and at that time the cameraman was standing there.
Was that something you consented to?
Umukuleti me yalon ko ifangale sontala diate yen bang.
We didn't know it that way.
So they did this without asking your consent?
Amunta iteli yokele drong andung imanali nyininka fo albe sonna falte sonna akwala.
They never asked you anything.
Did you want to appear in public?
Nyindung adiate ne purka finti teleto nya jama moli ye jabang.
Many people were there who did not want to appear on television.
And what about you?
Ite fango kungodung adiate ne bang.
Even myself, I did not want.
Okay, and why is that the case?
Munana iman lafika finti teleto nya.
Because of the way the sickness was described, that is why.
Was that because of the stigma attached to the sickness?
Amunta nyinsa sa te sironin toku ya membe dendingala wala ya kende iman lafi puru moli jama moli yeje.
Yes, that is it.
And did you consider that recording a breach of your privacy?
Amunta sila ya alitawo nyaka alitawo kameramano bali takang. Amunta ninkumu wo mukantinya leti atelning ojara albunda tema.
Yes, that is it.
Did you make any complaint? Did you tell anybody that this is not something you wanted?
Fo inata nyin silo sotole kadia mumo e ka fayen ko ka wasia e wala ka fo ko nyimukule tintelo malla fi menna ka molta camera la ten.
Who would say so? No one will dare say so.
Why wouldn't they dare say so?
Munana mo te soton na mensi hanyila fola.
Because those we found there did not say so, so we would not say so.
And apart from those people who were televising you and those who were making arrangements and coordinating the whole program, ushering you into the buses, was there any form of security presence around you?
Molu kola molu meni alonko wole bali takang kamera la meni alonko wole ba ko no masata kang ani mo ko tanglu menu ma beta je pour ka tella kolu topoto fokabula bosola kali samba fodum wotembo kanto nin tankada molu bijele no menu be ko misali kamma police wala sojarol wala anyondo kula lu folu fanal ma beta be ngoto le bang
Parar.
The paras were there and soldiers. Yes, they were the ones there that day.
Were they carrying any weapons?
Fodum menu nata je wonya jorambe bulle ba menu be ko kidolu.
The soldiers were dressed in their uniforms and the paramilitary were seated at the gate.
Did they carry any weapons with them?
Ako fo jorangulu tarte bulle bang misali kam kido jorangulu fulu be bulo kono la bangolu.
No, they were not having guns.
Was it an intimidating atmosphere to you at all? Or did you feel safe and secure?
Bare ne ajube wol lataroje Kenya amunta ketanyine kama ko purka molu silandi bang fodum ya janya dile tekno.
So that no one goes out.
So you're saying that those soldiers were there to make sure that you did not leave?
Amunta wala mnyindi ko wala taroje wo sojarol wala mnyindi mo kana finti kaboje katamba ka finti ko nyinkono.
Yes.
And it is correct that you consented to go on that program. You did it out of your own free will initially.
Amunta ndu nyine be keri nunko adiate fangale purka du njara ro kono ye prisila jata kende asoto andum wala na isonta purka du njara ro nyinkono.
Yes.
But then once you entered the program, what you're saying now is that you were being prevented from leaving.
Amunta silambiri tata hanfo alidunta programo nyinkono inata kolu la nyamen amunta wenyine itandiko imalafi moyeboje mensi finti.
And you were held against your will.
Amunta ninkumudali ali mutajele ali korokang.
That is true.
So what happened when you got to Kanilai?
Sai mune nata kebra alfuta Kanilai.
We alighted. We were given our beds, each to one.
Where did you alight in Kanilai?
Yali jindi mintole Kanilai fangoto.
Just close to his house, where the garden is.
Whose house are you referring to?
Jumala bungo.
His compound, Jamekunda.
Is that the official residence of the president or his family residence?
Jedung ya jammela badin kordalum jeti fodung ate fango kungola kordalem jeti.
I think it's the family compound.
And you're saying that beds were prepared for you?
And enyum foko ye larang lu dial la jele.
Yes, each to your bed.
And what happened?
Mine natake. We were given towels too. What you ma?
We were there until afternoon time. We know we arrived in the evening, we spent the night. The following morning, we were given the medicine. They gave us cups also, each to a cup.
Before we start on the administration of the medicine, just tell us who was with you, who was part of this presidential alternative treatment program?
Janimbe bori mingula koda mutala. Jumanyo lebije meni alonko wolle dabe nyinjara ro kunya kono meni ba ado ko ke kangutumu. Jumanyo lem.
I'm not talking about the participants, but rather those who were administering the program.
Amafo menu nata jara rola de.
Those who were working with Yaya Jammeh.
Meni alonko wolle ni Yaya Jammeh be do ko la nungo tembo.
No, sir.
The nurses?
Sorry?
The nurses.
Yes, the nurses, doctors, whoever else was working with him.
No soro lo doctor lo wol ko la fana fomo do fana bije la nim menu be do ko la no menu da bije.
And soldier what soldier what for come on makole.
And the soldiers too, they usually assisted.
Menka boro di mola ansu.
The one that gives out the medicine, Ansu.
Ansu what?
Ansu nyadi.
Ansu Jammeh.
Ansu Jammeh.
Who was Ansu Jammeh?
Jumalong Ansu Jammeh.
Well, Jammeh le badi ono malo adingo lo banfa ado malo.
It's Yaya Jammeh's relative. I don't know whether it's a son or a brother.
Do you know what his full name is?
Ako foya ato fongolo na ato faringo ato timarengo.
Ansumana Jammeh.
Ansumana Jammeh.
Who else was there? You had mentioned Dr. Mbow previously. Was he also present?
Jumanyo lebije ye Dr. Mbow fanan to fole nun komando nun.
Ani Dr. Mbow fana.
Yes, and Dr. Mbow as well. We came with a vehicle.
Did you meet Ansumana there, or did he also come with you?
Ali Ansumana tarajele ba mfodun atel na atele na tanyola.
Ansumana fana motore babulu.
Ansumana too had a vehicle.
Who else was present?
Fulu be fana wol fana lu kola fo modo bijele melo menu bije menu mabeta.
No sir.
The nurses?
Yes, please. Can you mention their names?
Fo e wono solo kono ye tolu lonne.
Yes, I know their names.
Please tell us.
Itolu fo.
Are you comfortable telling us their names?
Fodun e ke to fo wo asono yate fele bang.
Yes, it's easy with me.
Please go ahead.
Ko e tolu fo.
Awanjai.
Awanjai.
Nima, Auntie Nima.
Auntie Nima.
Nima Jaha, Baji, Nima Baji.
Nima Baji.
Jawara.
Jawara.
Do you know Jawara's first name?
Fo Jawara to ya tolu ne bang. Katu Jawara mo kontongolti.
Jawara fulolo, tomu atolo Jawara, kontong malum, bara tomu fulolo.
Jawara is the name, but the person is a fuller. I don't know the name.
The surname.
Okay, so Jawara is the name and not the surname.
Yes, awlem nyinti ko Jawara le mo atoti bari ima kontongolo.
Do fana bije Lamin.
There is one other, Lamin.
Do you know his surname?
Fo ye Lamin kontongolo ne bang.
Sane.
Any other people you remember?
E hakilo sibula jumale koten naje.
Ari. Wodo nyinta tola bara te fana Lamin fulalo ndar.
I forgot the other one, but there were two Lamins.
You have already mentioned that Awanjai and Auntie Nima Baji were nurses.
Ye nyum fula ko Awanjai and Auntie Nima ulmuno so letinu.
Dr. Mbow was obviously a doctor.
Dr. Mbow womu doctor letinu.
And Ansumana Jammeh was helping Yaya Jammeh with administration of the medicine.
Amunta Ansumana Jammeh le Yaya Jammeh ma ko borolu nyil dinyato.
What was Jawara and Lamin Sane doing?
Jawara ni Lamin Sane wala do ko wolbe mun ke kanu.
That is when they are massaging the men. They usually assisted Yaya Jammeh.
Thank you. And in this accommodation that you were the men and women separated?
Between Silang Ilumbara, Yali Giandi Damente, Yebu Memfo, Larangol Dialaje, Musol Ninkelu, Yali Beke Nyokan Dinkra Kringle to Foyali Fatale.
Ndale bentema bari kew even ani musola bunkono namita ita kewla bunkono jonko ni untel bele dentara.
We shared the same toilet, but there was a door between where the women were and where the men were. But you had to pass through the women's area to get to where the men were.
And you said in the morning, you spent the night, in the morning you were given the medicine. Can you tell us where you were given this medicine? Did you change locations at any point?
Ako wairi alfutata je ikali suto laje le fo samole ye boro dialla fodum ye boro dialla dinkira jumale to fo yale bondi jele kal sambadula do to ka boro dialla bang fo dinkira to je fam ye boro dialla jele
Ani boro yaji na jele.
No, we were given the medicine there.
And who gave you the medicine there?
Sa in jumale yo boro fo dialla je
Ansumana Jammeh.
Ansumana Jammeh.
At what point did you meet Yaya Jammeh?
Wati jumale dummu Yaya Jammeh fo nata futali maji
Uraro bi motara nunta boso kon tatara durata molka boro mindame.
It was in the evening after we boarded the vehicles and go to his place where people usually drank the medicine.
Was it Yaya Jammeh or Ansumana Jammeh who first gave you the medicine?
Mem folo boro dialla Yaya Jammeh fo ngolon fo Ansumana Jammeh.
Ansumana Jammeh wala boro di mol samanda juta iko mu juuse abako jiyo.
Ansumana Jammeh was the one who gave us the medicine first thing in the morning, and they said that was juice. It was like water.
Can you give us further description of this juice?
Wo boro nye ko membe ko juice a kuloro mumbo abenyadi le boro nyim fang benyadi
It's clear as water, but it was very bitter.
And how much of that were you given, and how was it measured?
Saying yo jio men dialla nya kaming ya suma nyadi le ya yirko men dialla momondi memming asumang ya suma nyadi le
Ivem kabandi ore boro ni abuka kunje fa kasonye ni aile majera abuka kunje.
If you should empty the content of that cup into the small avian water bottle, it will be more than it.
And you said it was very bitter.
Andu yenyu foka boro kuniatale.
Yes.
What was the smell like?
Asero dumbe nyadi le
It did not have a smell.
Were you told what this medicine was going to do?
Foya fale no boro wo nafamu muneti abe munekela alla.
Until we borrowed in a drum. Iko ngami ya iko ya jamene adere ya unti as until ngade molbe ya mi into fana. Emol kumande ko alta boro mi.
Well, for us, we were just given the medicine to drink, and we were told that it was from Yaya Jammeh, and others drank, and I also had to drink.
Did you understand it to be one of those medications included in the treatment that would cure you of HIV/AIDS?
Fodo yenyu fahamule ko wa fanambe boro le kono ali nyanta mennu minna je me ya lonko wala bali jarala kanyin HIV jankar ke so bondali bala.
Ansma wala for ako uboro ka je ka ni tara je ba boro borni ya dilai do itina jaro la ya itani karo kala ba minna le do.
That was what Ansumana said, that it was the medicine. And actually, when you go there as someone seeking for treatment, whatever medicines they gave you, you will just drink.
Thank you very much. And when was the next time you took another medication after that?
Inumbara biringo sumanda bori min botala wati jumalen ko takal nata boro min.
Tata furaro more content je tata furaro.
We had lunch, and when evening came,
more sama ya jame gulo ma fanjara kanen lai kon.
They took us inside the Kanilai, close to the bushes.
Ko jolo ala bori min dulati.
And they said that was the place where people used to drink the medicine. That was where he massaged us.
So this was not in a building, is that what you're saying, or was it in a building?
Munta o dinkira amanke ko bungo kono lom jeti fodum wo fananketa bungo kono toleti.
Jefanan bungo le bije bare last amantara sate kono atele last abe ulo le kono koma kanen lai kono.
That was a building, but it was the last building. It wasn't within the settlement. It was far away, far away from the main Kanilai settlement.
And do you know what that particular building was being used for? Did it have any particular name or anything like that?
O bungo fodu yalon ya ka muneke o bungo kono dalilo mu muneti fodu je fanga to soton ne bay ka je kumandi men.
Ka je la for drying floor ba mal. Drying floor.
Drying floor.
Sorry?
Drying floor, I heard.
The name is called drying floor.
Yes, drying floor.
Yeah, that's what
Is that an English word?
Amunta itela moyroto angale kuma kangolo woti bam fodum.
Drying floor. I will.
Drying floor, that was what was said.
Bambol ni fenga bambol be jele je fenko so boko pulo ten. Bambol ka tara jele ani ñew.
There was a pool which had crocodiles and fish as well.
So it was near the crocodile pool and a fish pond.
Amunta jele be bambol la dinkira nyembala nyelu fanalu be damento.
Yes.
And that is how you would normally identify the building, or were there any other identifying marks on the building?
Amunta silang ay kawo bungo kumandi wala labang fodun taman ser dolu bijele mo si bungo nyen na ko taman ser no men.
Te malo de yala motat no jela bumba be je boko nyim bungo te mo dunta jele.
I don't know. When we went there was a big building, just as this one. We got into it.
Okay, thank you. And you said this is the place where basically you were being massaged.
Inumbara amunda wo bungo kono jele fana moy ka molu balo nyabu.
Yes.
And was this massage supposed to be part of your HIV treatment?
Amunda wo nyaburo fanang. Wo fanan dabe alla HIV jararo le kono bang.
That was what I saw.
And as an AIDS patient, have you ever been given a massage as part of your HIV treatment when you were going to normal hospitals?
Amunta wato men albejara rota kan lopitan dolu nyilu kono fo wo nyon jaral façon e ko ku façon kilmule kal yewolo fanan to bang fo dum ko lu kenya nyim fatatal.
I have never seen that anywhere else except Kanilai.
Indeed. And what did this special massage consist of? What was being done to you and by whom?
Saying nyaburo ikake nyadile jumale fon ka nyaburo ke anin akake nyadile.
Yeah, Jammeh was the one who usually asked the women to undress just as they were born. You will not have even earring, nothing on your body, and then you will lie down.
Would you have underwear?
Ako fodun duma fen katarele le membe ko duma kurto wala duma fano.
Only the towel that you tie around your waist.
And then what would happen? Where would you be laying on if you were lying down?
Munakana akbula onoma ikay ilandi mintole ka fo yela dami.
They will spread a bed sheet on a table. You will lie on it. You will lie.
And you will not cover yourself. That's how you will lie down.
On your stomach or on your back?
You lie on your back.
Tell us what he would do.
He will come and take the medicine and massage you. He will touch all parts. And then you will lie flat on your stomach. He will massage you, including your head, your ears.
Would your private parts be included in that massage?
Fo massage ro abuloka futa ete mari nyato balale bang.
It touches all parts of your body.
And how did that make you feel?
Andun silang wo ayeke nyadile.
Were you comfortable being touched in that way?
Wo dum kuleti asono yate fele bam pour mobulo e futa e nyato to.
Well, it's just the
No choice.
No choice, but nobody wants such thing.
And apart from that, you said it was also done in the presence of others.
Ufanambe kola wodun kake modolu nyala le bang.
Dr. Mbo was always present.
What about the security apparatus of the president? Were they also present?
Munta president wala wa kantar la lu menu katara bala wato be folu fanal katara jele bang.
Soldiers, Pa Ali and others.
And these were male soldiers, I suppose.
Adu nyulumu ke sojaro leti.
Yes.
And how long would this massage go on for? And can you tell us if you remember what kind of ingredients were used in what you were being massaged with?
Andu wonyaburo afanyang akawati jeleta aning akamunnimuneta kamenkali balajato bala purkali balo nyabu.
Boro ni beja fun kantar de bar na dum te nyakono e nyaka dimini fam aka janile.
There is a medicine which has a very foul odor, but when it gets into your eye, it used to irritate your eyes.
So he would even put it in your eyes? Is that what you're saying?
Ako nyimboro nying amunta akafute nyamale bang.
Kenya kule ke kunga be mo se balo be.
You used to wash your eyes, your face, and put ointment on your head.
Yes, go ahead.
Ten.
After some time, you'll be asked to get up and sit. You will sit on the table there. He will ask you to stretch forth your hands for him to pray. And when he's done, you will wipe your palms on your face.
What kind of prayer was he conducting?
Well, he knew what he was reciting.
You don't know, you didn't associate it to any particular religion?
Amunta malong amun bare la akaw kuma kan men fo dina juma mo safono mun dina juma le la kan moti.
At that time, you wouldn't be able to tell, because at that time we were very unhappy.
Do you know what language he was speaking?
Yalon faka kam fason juma le fanam fo.
We're speaking in Jola.
Do you understand Jola?
Fo Jola kan mo le bang.
I don't understand Jola.
Do you know what was included in the ingredient that made this medicine have such a foul smell?
Fo yalon ne bay kam ne ke nyimboro kono me ya kende aka wo sera jawo sotong ko ya fanyami.
Nyimboro aka ku yamal kafun jede.
He used to mix up a lot of things in that medicine.
Would you happen to know any of the ingredients?
Fo isa lonno le akaw ku jamalu meno kafun nyoma hanna be kala fenkilindi fo isa lonne bang.
Did it smell like anything in particular?
Go misali kam asero ni mune sero simulia itefe.
There was garlic and shea butter.
And
other things, but I don't know. But these two are usually there. And also he will tell you that you will not take bath. We were there for 3 months and the soap never touched us.
Wow, this is very interesting, Madam Witness, but unfortunately it's time for the break, and we will have to continue afterwards, and you will tell us what else was done to you during this treatment that you received in Kanilai. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. It's time for the break.
Tung ako enumbara na dahawa to sitam be ndahala domandi mbari mbe murula nanne bari yeda men fote mo mukuleti me ya lonko asike moyo kumpa kuwoti bari bitum be murula nanne mbita dahala.
Thank you, Council. Yet another shocking thing that the President of the Republic of the Gambia moves into naked women, strange, massaging them, and then from there on to reading verses from the Quran and praying for them. Shocking. We will take a 30-minute break and then come back at 12 noon. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.